Hey everybody, do I have sweaty armpits? I hope not. It's been a day, but I'm back in studio. And here's what I want to tell you guys. I want you to know, by the way, that I'm so grateful for those of you who've subscribed to this channel, for me, and for what I have to offer. What I mean by that is, a lot of people, they come for their favorite artist, a review of their favorite band, which I totally understand, that's fine. But obviously it's going to cause people to come and go if I don't react to their favorite artist. And in days like these, when we got an artist we love and support, who releases multiple tracks, and so a lot of the focus is reviewing his stuff. The downside or the difficulty, of course, is that people may or may not forget this is not just a Ren channel, obviously, though I love my brother from another mother, but we're all about world music, psychology, etc. You know the drill. And so naturally, if it takes a second for me to get back around to these bands that I love reviewing, that you've come and stayed for, and then sometimes, of course, I know some people get fatigued if the artist that I'm reviewing or spending more time on is not your favorite artist. And so for those of you who stay, even if you're not here because of the Ren reviews, I really want to let you know that I appreciate you, those of you who subscribed to this channel because of what I'm bringing and what this community is to you or who I am to you. It means a lot. Ren put out another one, and I'm trying to keep up. This one's called The Second Night. Are you ready?
Well, yeah. And this guy is trying to find from the Ice Age, so he thinks that we're a species with amnesia. So he's looking for ancient civilization. And some of the shit that he finds, like there's a place called Göbekli Tepe as well. Do you know that? Yeah. So there's like things of that, and some of the datings that go way back than what current archaeology says.
Yeah.
You know, and it goes back such
like even like the details on the actual like
you know how everything like lines up in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, when apparently we had no contact with everyone else in the past.
No way. No, it's like what you mean is like if they have like a building and the building's got like certain types of markings and designs on them, they'll be here, but it'll also be in China.
Yeah, the exact same markings and the same stories as well about like serpents in the sky.
Which is genuinely why I actually do believe in this whole little alien thing. I actually am.
Mate, I think aliens. I think they're among us now.
There's a whole like program on that on dragons.
Dragons.
Yeah.
Do you know my theory on dragons?
Go on. I want to know your theory.
Dragons are just dinosaurs. And I don't think they spat fire. You know how seagulls, right, their stomachs are so acidic they can eat anything and it disintegrates. So what's stopping a pterodactyl, for example, you know, because you look at T-Rexes, their arms are like this. But you look at a bird, its arms are like this. But the wings will actually decompose, the bones won't. So I was saying a T-Rex wasn't like that with big wings that spat acid. Like Komodo dragons, man, can spit acid, you know. Like.
I love these conversations. Oh my gosh. I find it so fascinating. I'm sure many of you could get lost in this, right?
So that's the thing. And obviously, if you're depicting that back in the day, you're like, oh shit, I'm burning, there's fire. Because you don't know back then, because you feel like I'm on fire.
This is what I say about like if you read the Bible, basically. If you read the Bible and look at it from a sci-fi perspective, it all starts to make actual sense. And you can go, oh, okay, maybe this is somebody trying to tell history.
That's the next one.
It is. I believe the Bible is accurate in certain areas. I don't think Moses was real because, again, Egypt, there's no documentation how.
Oh my gosh, these guys got me excited. I wish I could be in that room just chatting and listening, just listening even. Put me as a fly on the wall and let me listen and take it in. Thank you, by the way, for being on these rides with me. It's like watching the latest release of your favorite episode of your favorite show together. I hope you are cozy somewhere, safe and sound. I got my tea, and yeah, let's listen. Let's find out what's going on here. Please make sure to go support Ren. Go subscribe on his Ren Makes Stuff channel, on his official Ren Makes Music channel. Here, please, and yes, enjoy this ride with me. Let's see what we can take from this. Clearly, we're in prison. The guard is walking. What did he say? Also, how did Ren get access to the prison to record? Is this like phenomenal? This is so cool.
That was Scooter Don't touch my junk. The ladies are going wild over that one. I got a feeling there's going to be some babies made.
I'm realizing it now. Knox, that's amazing. I totally missed this in the last one and yesterday, the first night. You guys pointed it out in the comment section. Thank you for that. Knox, our brother Knox, here on the radio station, the narrator, the commentator of the radio channel. I freaking love it. So cool that he included him in this. And then also, you guys were speaking about Vincent's name here being a play on Vincent van Gogh. I mean, plenty of stuff I missed that I love finding and learning about in the comment section. Thanks to you guys. Wild.
Now we've got a chart-to-chart exclusive coming in. For the second time now, I'm starting to get hot flashes. Another entry from Ren. Called the CDC. This one is crisis to crisis.
Run from the shame. Have you ever gave your love away?
Still fucking shit.
I'm sick of it. I'm actually done. I can't be in this house any longer with this actual bunch of idiots. How can it possibly be that when me and Johnson are on a date and it's just us, he is the sweetest, kindest, most compassionate man, ticks every fucking box, and the second that we step foot back into this house, he's around all of his mates again, beating on their chest like fucking gorillas, all of that out the window. I just can't believe, like, when Mike's getting super drunk, as he always does, and just being his stuck-up, arrogant, slimy, snaky little self. Thinks he's God's fucking gift to women. Thinks that just because he has a six-pack, barely, that he's something special. He's not. And I just know for a fact that every single girl at home is thinking the exact same thing as me. He's disgusting. I'm getting to the point now where I actually wish that I didn't vote off Pigman. Because he might have been a pig, but at least he was a man. Do you know what I mean?
Coming up.
These titles are so brilliant. I mean, there's so much comedy in this, so much humor, and humor is so therapeutic too, you guys, to be able to laugh. That is beyond just, you know how they say laughing is the best medicine. Of course, scientifically, you know, laughing can be contagious. You see someone else smiling, our mirror neurons go off, and now we want to smile. It's healing. It's good for the dopamine and the hormones that get released that makes us feel good. Just scientifically, physically, it feels good to laugh and to be happy. But there's also something about humor when it's tied so deeply into deep and real topics where it addresses, in a humorful, playful way, it addresses a lot of the things many people are feeling, frustrations when it comes to what's happening in this world. And to be able to laugh together, knowing very well that a lot of people are sitting at home or wherever watching this laughing, in that collective frustration and that collective tension that we're in this day and age. Whatever country you're from, to be honest, as long as you have a phone and you see what's going on in the world, there is this buildup of tension and exhaustion and fatigue of the drama and the trauma and the struggles that humor can collectively alleviate. And there's something so powerful about having a project that brings people together and that has so many going, yes, this is good, this is true, this is deep, but also this is freaking funny. And I love that honesty here, that authenticity. I also think that it's very well done, the way that this is all set up. I mean, the levels of art and of intricacies and the cinematography and in the humor and in the narration and in the script are brilliant. There's a lot of, as he does usually, as Ren does, the wordsmith. I call it the wordsmithery. Go get the t-shirt. Even here, we're seeing literary art, and humor is very much a form of literary art. In the days of Shakespeare and the like, theater play, literary art was much more than just someone standing and reciting verses. There was poetry, there was double entendres, there was alliterations. It's art, and I love that he honors art and does it in all forms. We have it, we can hear it, we can see it, we can feel it. It's addressing all of our senses, and that's a very holistic and pleasurable experience because of that. And lastly, and I'll keep listening, the cinematography and this old school feeling, that nostalgic feel of the old TVs, of that rock band that looked like it came straight out of the 70s or 80s with Ren and his hair. And at the same time, addressing things that are very modern, like the swipe till you can't swipe no more type of TV show, these soap operas and these reality TV shows that many of us know that have been happening for decades and have just gotten worse, dare I say, with people complaining about the dating world and the two-facedness of people in the world. And it's very relevant, relatable topics. And yet you're having it presented in such a nostalgic, old school way. And I think that's brilliant for a couple of reasons. It pulls in various generations. The older generations among us can relate to this, can see themselves in a part of their identity and what's shaped who they are being pulled in. You have a younger generation who can very much still relate to this, for one, because retro is back in, right? The things that are vintage are cool again. But also because, side note, by the way, my daughter told me the other day how she didn't like a movie I recommended because it had old people in it. And I asked her how old they were. I pointed out they weren't really old. And she said they were like in their 30s. So on that note, we have a generation who will not necessarily, if it wasn't Ren, watch certain things because it's nostalgic unless it's hip enough and retro enough to be in again. But you have a lot of thematics that are relatable to the current day generation. And so it's this beautiful connection of all the generations, but also it taps into our psyche very well, I believe, because it's on a very fast-paced scale right now. That's why thank you for being here for us to slow down, break this apart. It taps into various part of our psyche because it is addressing the parts of us that longs for humor and lightheartedness, the parts of us that longs for that throwback, that link to the old and the way things used to be, and the nod to what's happening right now in real time, and what pertains to people being people, from their love life and the dating world to financial struggles to music. It's touching on all these things in pop culture and in day-to-day life that all of us can relate to, and it's addressing and signaling all these parts of our brain of that are intriguing and human and bringing us all together. And I think that in itself, just as a project as a whole, trying to take the bird's view, for example, is brilliant because we're talking about very important, necessary things. But he's doing so in a way that it can get through to a lot of people. Hopefully, ideally. Anyways, I digress. Lockridge Entertainment.
Sorry, so travel gives me nose issues. Fly on over to the UK, they said, Hank Hankerson. Come do the news for us. Great job. You want to go out for a drink? Sure. Come drink our lukewarm pints. What is this? Tea? Please. Coffee bitches on that. Hey, how you doing? This is our co-employee, Susan. Hi, Susan. Nice to meet you. Wake up the next day after blacking out. Hi again, Susan. Nice to meet you. What you doing in my shower? Want to say hi on FaceTime to my wife? No, okay. Thank God I signed a prenup. Over to Hugh Moss for today's weather.
Trying to kill some time here because I'm seeing two of what's going on the teleprompter, and there's just a green screen behind me, so I have no idea whether the weather is weathering, but I know that there was snow flowing last night, if you catch my drift.
Oh, that was good, if you catch my drift.
Few of us did.
Stay at home. See that on the bottom right corner? I wonder if that's a nod to the COVID times and that agenda that was being pushed that you need to stay at home, or who you are, depending on your views on if you should or shouldn't stay at home. Could just be a weather comment, but that's very interesting. The honesty here of just calling out everybody and their mama, calling out the irony of having these experts, not saying they're not experts, but having people present the news and present the weather, even though they're standing in front of a simple green screen. And so much of what we see is an optic illusion. Having this humorous monologue of Knox Hill, and that too is very special, by the way. Psychologically, having someone else that you love, you follow, you appreciate, have I don't even know if I should say a cameo because he's full-blown part of this, is also special, right? It feels like, oh, these are my people. I know these people, right? This is like the families come together to create something fun, and that too is comforting to people to see the people you know and appreciate working on something together. So that affects us in a certain way as well. But all the hypocrisy they're calling out. You got this guy who's complaining about his job and cheating on his wife, and I signed a prenup. It's really addressing a lot of topics in a very fast way, but leaving those nuggets for us to pull out or dissect as we will.
Anyway, I will pass you over to the floozy with the newsies. Susan from the news. Good night. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much.
The floozy with the newsies, Susie. I need to come up with another line. That's something along that.
Your social media company, Soulfeed, has been under a lot of public scrutiny recently.
Soulfeed.
I assume you've heard of the accusations that the platform has been censoring the name Vincent Gavon and limiting posts from users.
Look, Sarah, listen. The answer is actually surprisingly simple. I mean, we couldn't believe it when we found out. It was possums.
Possums?
Mm-hmm. Migrating ones. You see, in our server rooms, we have an incredibly complex network of cables, everyone attributed to each citizen of the United Kingdom. And last night, a herd of possums snuck in, and the cable associated with Vincent Gavon chewed right through it. What are the chances this week?
My guy is bold. He is bold. I feel like this is a conversation about how we are fed complete bullcrap and are told to believe that this is what actually happened. Addressing cancellation, addressing censorship and lack of freedom of speech when people have questions about things. By the way, thank you for those of you who pointed out that his play on Vincent's name is a play on Vincent van Gogh's name, moving around the letters and playing on that. Brilliant. Seeing Ren in different characters, it's amazing to see his acting skills. He's so good. The lip mouth smacking, the enunciation, the dramatic, it's just brilliant. Very artistic guy. It's fun to see. But even little things like the name of the company, Soulfeed, it is just phenomenal. You guys also pointed out, and I got to pull up my research. You guys also pointed out that whole spiel in the first night, that whole news report, and that the way that they were spinning this with who Vincent actually killed on the streets was a direct nod to Luigi Mangione, who is that 27-year-old Italian-American who was accused of shooting and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Manhattan back in December of 2024. And some of you pointed that to you that is maybe a direct nod to that because of, that idea of someone killing the son of a famous CEO or someone in power. I mean, there's many ways, many parallels we could possibly pull. We know from Bren's other work that there's always a red thread. It's always connected. And what blows my mind is just how profoundly he connects things. And I think one of the reasons why we love that so much is, for one, there's comfort in knowing things are connected. And I often bring it back to existential theory and death anxieties and existential fears, but in the fact that there's this constant battle within us between loneliness and longing for relationship, between struggling with the fact that things will end, we're mortal, we're gonna die alone, but also desperately, biologically, psychologically in need of relationship, right? There's always that dance within us. And so in the face of that, it's comforting to think, to feel, to have the hope that it's all connected, that when I die, I'm not really gone. My legacy can live on through my children or through something that I've left behind. There's comfort in feeling like it's connected, like maybe there's a reason for what's going on in my life, or maybe there's a purpose that behind all this. There's something else coming. I've said that before. There's comfort in feeling like this is not the end of individual stories. It's not the end of Jenny and Screech. It's not the end of Richard or Vincent's tale. There's hope. I also think it's powerful because scientifically our brain is wired to look for closure. We're often looking for something for closure, right? So that's why it's so painful when people have obsessive compulsive disorders, because there's that constant ongoing loop, and it's such a turmoil to be stuck in a pattern that you feel like you cannot break out of, when naturally our brain is looking for that closure and it doesn't come, right? The same thing goes with people who struggle with depression and anxiety. There's that longing to feel joy again, but you wake up the next day and you still feel numb or paralyzed or in such a dark cloud that you feel like you're suffocating and you can't see the light. And so naturally our brain is looking for that hope, looking for the way out, looking for the answer. We are wired to look for closure. And so for Ren to have this red thread in all of his music videos and his compositions is powerful because it makes it feel like one giant matrix. But a matrix not that of deceit or confusion, as we often feel like we find ourselves in when we watch the news, don't know who to believe, this is a dystopia. It's one of comfort because he's bold and calling out the system. He's presenting us with hope, like we saw at the end of Hiren. He's addressing the issue and making people feel so seen. There's so much power in making another human being feel seen. It is immensely therapeutic. And he does that through his music. So even here, calling things out and the system and finding that red thread. It's exciting too, all these other reasons I just listed aside. It's fun. It's fun to find another trail. That's why we love mazes, some of us do, and we love treasure hunts, and we love, some people do these crossword puzzles and Sudoku, and people love to unscramble things, to solve the mystery. Our brain longs for that, and it makes it for fun entertainment too.
And the cable associated with Vincent Gavon chewed right through it. What are the chances this week?
Phantom Probers. Was that a play on Phantom of the Opera? Like switching the words around? It has a very much haunted house, Ghostbusters, vampire feel. Maybe I'm missing another show. But Phantom of the Opera is this opera about obsession and love. The Phantom's love for Christine, obsessive, it goes violent. I wonder if that's where we're going with this. But it's amazing, continuously amazing, how many references Ren has here to pop culture references, to music, to movies, to historic elements, to fields of study, economy, sociology, psychology, philosophy. I mean, bro is smart.
Guys, this is one of the most haunted car parks.
Ghostbusters, isn't it?
You can feel the presence. I definitely felt different vibes coming from over.
Vibes. We were talking about vibes in the first night when Titty McGee, that's what I'm gonna call her, the influencer, was influencing and talking about vibes and how she meditates real hard. And that helps everything. And here, talking about vibes again, play on Ghostbusters, etc. Brilliant.
Oh, crikey. We're getting a 6. A 6 on the spirit meter.
A 666 on the spirit meter, symbol of the beast, right? Bringing in religion, bringing in superstition. This guy is genius.
What does it go up to?
4. If there are any ghostly presences among us, please make yourself known.
Hello?
Please. Wait. I'm going to attempt to make contact with the spirit realm. Okay. Gotta be very careful. Okay.
He's genius. I love his acting. It's so good.
Ghost. If you can hear me, please make 3 knocks. Wait, was that 4?
It was 4.
Ghost, if you can hear me, please make 3 knocking sounds.
Oh, so yeah, that's definitely 4.
Oh, it's probably not a ghost. Oh. Holy hand balloons. The spirit on there is literally going crazy right now. It's all over the place. I'm getting 4s, 5s. Wait, I'm getting a very strong reading. Wait, hold.
It's coming through really loud.
I'm getting an 18. I've never seen an 18 before. Josh, I think he might be a ghost.
What?
I think he might be dead. Wait, guys, cut the camera.
I'm scared.
The topics I see here addressed are okay, this is subjective interpretation, okay? But the topics I'm seeing here are our deep longing for the divine, for the supernatural. I think I'm seeing here our tendency to look for signs and interpret the signs however we want. The ghost could be knocking 3 times, and we are not sure if it was 3 or 4. I see. Okay, let my brain. I'm like scatterbrained because this is just so good and so many things. Let me slow down. When the knocking happened, it made me wonder: did he just do the knocking, which would be a conversation about fraud and these money games and the manipulative spiel that we find all over the place, where people want to call something spiritual and divine, and it was just man-made, orchestrated. If it was really indeed not these 2 guys doing the knocking, I think there's a conversation here to be had about how even when you get an answer, you look to the supernatural, to God, to divine, and something responds, we still are not going to receive it unless we're ready to receive it. God could be literally speaking to us, but so often we want to box God in, and if he doesn't speak to us the way we thought, or if it doesn't move in the way we ask, then surely it can't be God. So I wonder if there's also a conversation here about just that. You ask for a knocking happens, but it wasn't exactly 3 times, so surely it can't be the ghost. A conversation about maybe we hear what we want to hear, how we will interpret things we cannot understand scientifically or mathematically, logically, that we will interpret that however we want. I'm seeing here a conversation about how the dramatic gets people's attention. You have him breathing into the camera and all the dramatic and the intense. Then this is exactly what gets people hooked. And I think it also is a conversation about how much people are just sheeple. We're so easily fooled. And as long as you're moving the camera fast enough and you have enough, a few enough seconds between the frame switch to the next scene, and as long as you keep the suspense, that's what people are going to watch. And there's the money. I'm seeing a conversation here also about stupidity. Quite frankly, having a meter, some type of measuring tool that you put all your trust in, and if that measuring tool scans certain ratings around this human being, surely that must mean that this person is dead. And what does that now mean? That this Ghostbuster is seeing ghosts and treating them as people, that we're so stupid we'll think a person is a ghost? Is it talking about the games people play in TV shows? Oh, cut the camera. Oh my gosh, we can't let the world know this. There's so many conversations we could have about this. And I think the variety of different types of TV channels is well done because it's exactly what happens as we're flicking. Back in the day, it was flicking through the TV, finding one program after the other. And I love that nostalgic vibe. Today, it's this. It's a scrolling, and it's crazy stuff like that. One thing to the next. And we were not built for that. Our brain was not built for that constant stimuli. And here we're seeing it, though, on the security cameras. Ironically, in prison, we are seeing it on these cameras as if someone is at home just watching TV, which is very much, again, that connection to the past generations, the present day. The current generation can relate to it through the swiping. The older generation can relate to this because that's what it was like flicking through the TV. But it's also phenomenally powerful that this is being looked at by what seems to be the security guard at prison through these cameras, these security TVs, security camera TVs. And isn't that powerful to think that all the things we are perceiving from within the prison? Maybe not just the prison that Vincent is sitting in, but the prison of our mind, the prison that we've caught ourselves in.
Games, incredible games. How's it going? Wait, don't even bother asking. You already know. Gareth Gaines, a.k.a. the pre-workout assassin, a.k.a. Lord of the Lats. And you already know the score? Let's get ripped to the core, baby. Let's go.
I can get down with the music.
Lads, listen. I am operating on 0 calories, 10 grams to the decimal place of creatine monohydrates, and 6,000 grams of caffeine right now. I can practically see sound.
I'm impressed by the different accents he's pulling off through all of this and the different characters he's impersonating. Phenomenal.
If you want to be hench, hit the bench. Bars for days, lads. Let's go.
Bars for days. Oh my gosh, bars for days. That was brilliant. That was a brilliant double entendre. Bars for days, but also, oops, my bad. It's Ren. Bars for days. The word smithery is on fleek.
Manifest. That's law of attraction 101. If you think hard enough, your glutes will grow. That's quantum.
If you think hard enough, your glutes will grow. That's funny.
Booty mechanics. Simple.
I know. It was a night like any other night.
The quantum booty mechanics? I can't with this guy.
Simple.
I know. It was a night like any other night. You see that cat right there? That's Timmy.
By the way, Ren, you gotta make that a t-shirt. Quantum booty mechanics. I might wear that. I'm telling you.
It was a night like any other night. You see that cat right there? That's Timmy Two Knuckles. And he didn't get his name from fighting. He got his hand stuck inside a panini press down on 5th Avenue. But here's the thing about Timmy Two Knuckles. He was a stone cold son of a bitch.
You think that's funny?
Oh my gosh, was that a nod to Goodfellas? That that might be a nod to Goodfellas. That line, "Do you think I'm funny?" From Joe Pesci, who plays Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito asking in Goodfellas, "You think I'm funny? Huh? Is that funny to you?" That's what that was a play on, I think.
Here's the thing about Timmy Two Knuckles. He was a stone cold son of a bitch.
Am I still a rolling camera? Yep.
That's funny.
You think that's funny? And then the music. Here too, that dichotomy, you got lovely romantic Italian music playing while someone's being strangled, right? And that too may be a conversation starter about how we get desensitized. Music is so powerful. You could be seeing a horrible crime, but the music makes it soft and sweet. Or vice versa. You have, I don't know, jujitsu fight, and now you insert some lovely, sexy R&B music, and it'll make things look really weird really quick. I mean, music is powerful, but also maybe a conversation about how we are desensitized, how we see these things as entertainment, and that's what's happening left and right. That's wild, man. What? Oh! Oh my gosh, the possum's eating the cables. Look, there's evidence. What did it say? Neurodivergent talent show. This is so entertaining. How is this so entertaining? What is happening? What is happening? The glitching TV, that is interesting too. That glitching, distorted TV screen, like in the beginning.
I'm told the jury and public are now being asked to take their seats in the courtroom, and the judge will soon be asking for opening statements. Stand by whilst we wait. The case of the Crown versus Vincent is about to begin.
Is that question for my people in UK? Is that how it's vocalized or expressed? Not the state versus the accused, the defendant. Is it the Crown versus? Is that usually how it's said? You can't make this stuff up, man. This guy's a G. That's a lot of women on the jury. That's the jury, y'all. Vincent's in trouble. Sheesh. This must be the jury, right? Is it just me, or does it feel like it's mostly all just women? I mean, there's 4 guys, 3-4 guys. Everybody else is female, which is okay. But I just always thought, you got to make sure the jury is very blended. I would think.
Be seated.
Hey, Vincent.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what you see before you is not a man consumed by rage or madness. You see an animal, a predator.
And that could be a nod to Animal Flow and to a lot of the brand that had been run with the pig mask and the various animals. And when he addresses the system, when he speaks on our tribal instincts and our tendencies.
A man bitter with his own...
A conversation about 1984, Orwell's 1984, and our behaviors socially, and the way we are tribal and are easily polarized and go against each other and are brainwashed by the system. I mean, there's so many conversations we can have from this, but very poignant to call him an animal.
Circumstance, but unable to a predator. A man bitter with his own circumstance, but unable to take responsibility, who took no consideration for anyone around him and destroyed a life. Vincent Gavon shows no remorse, no grief, not even the pretense of sorrow for the heinous act he committed. As for Edmund Lockridge, a promising, hard-working young man, the son of Lord Lucian Lockridge, heir to the Lockridge estate, who gave so much to this country. His reward was to bleed to death on a London pavement.
It's interesting how much power presenting people in that type of contrast can have. You're using language like predator and animal, contrasting it with, on the other hand, this wonderful person, promising, hardworking, very different language to describe this individual.
The punishment must fit the crime. Not only as justice for Edmund, but protection for all of us.
Who is that? His lawyer, the attorney. She looks intriguing. She looks like she's the kind of lawyer you want to have. That was the opening statement of the prosecution.
Members of the jury, my client is not a monster. He is a man who worked hard and was compensated barely enough to keep his head above water. He lived quietly, respectfully, faded into the background, like working class people are so often asked to do. Don't complain, don't cause trouble, keep going. What happened that night was not calculated. It was not targeted. It was not political. It was a combination of too much alcohol and clumsy behaviour, a moment born not from hatred, but from exhaustion, the kind that builds after years.
Is the judge shaking his head? Oh, heck to the no. Vincent, you fucked. Sheesh. But this judge just shook his head.
From hatred.
Did you see that? Y'all saw that too, right?
But from exhaustion, the kind that builds after years of being overlooked, underpaid, and ground down by a system that says your life is your fault, whilst offering nothing to help you change it.
Get to the point, Miss Hall.
Wow, he's biased. Vincent, I am so sorry. You are not getting a just trial. That is not... Prosecution was not rushed for their opening statements at all. Ugh! Somebody just hold my earrings. This is a hold my ear. Where's my shirt? I gotta get my shirt. Where's my hold my earrings shirt, you guys? Hold on. All right, guys. This is how committed I am. There we go. Gotta let my hair down because I'm on fire. Woo! Okay. Hold my earrings, yo. Hold my earrings. This is making me mad. If you want this t-shirt, by the way, go get it. It's in my store. You can get it as a hoodie if you want to bundle up. Shout out to those of you who have already got one. I would love if you guys take a selfie and tag me on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you like. But anyways, we're posted here on the channel in the community. Yeah, hold my earrings, man. This ain't right. Ugh.
Yes, Your Honour. Mr. Garvon is under immense stress. Isolation, debt, drink, all of which severely impacted his judgment and mental health.
Excuses.
Explanations. Context matters.
Order. Keep it relevant.
Vincent, if you could tell the court how you feel, anything, please.
Heartless bastard!
This is terrible. That is a biased jury, a biased judge. What does that cup say? Day drinking from a mug? Something like that?
Yeah, I love. Yeah. No, I'll just get a Chinese. That's alright, man. Sausage and mash should be fine.
What? What is
That's alright, man. Sausage and mash should be fine. All right then. Right, see you later. Bye.
You were working at the Druid's Head that night.
Yeah. He came in just before closing, ordered a pint, sat down, kept on drinking. Quiet, polite, nothing odd at first.
What made you remember him?
He came in a lot, almost every day after work, just sitting there, not really saying much, not much of a chatter. Had a feeling he was a bit of a wrong 'un.
To your knowledge, did he know the victim?
Not from what I could tell. He didn't talk to anyone. But he looked like a man who had his mind made up.
Objection, speculation.
Yeah, for real though. Absolute speculation. Absolutely.
I seen him nick that poor guy.
That should have been, I don't know if the UK does it this way, but that should have been stripped from the record for the jury to not be able to regard that in their decision. Because that's absolutely biased.
His guitar, the homeless guy, he grabbed it right out of his hands. Imagine stealing from the homeless. Like, how evil do you have to be? I could sense it on him.
Objection. Sensing evil is no grounds for prosecution.
But I could sense it on him. I could smell it in the air. I could smell the evil.
She's so adorable. The irony is that she's very biased as well. Like, what she's saying is totally just leading the speculations and the interpretations, but the way she's talking, she's so gorgeous, she's so sweet.
Enough. The jury will retire in due course. For now, this court is adjourned.
Fucking punk. Look into your arms.
What did he say?
Fucking punk. Look into your arms. Walk.
Wow. It's amazing to me how we've gone from our hearts being grieved for Violet, for Jenny, even for Screech, as we learned more and more. We went from being shocked at what happened to Jenny and being heartbroken at what Screech did, what James did, but also for both of them. Then finding out about Violet and being heartbroken for her. And with every journey through people's lives and where they've come from and what they've gone through, it has changed, not just seeing the villainness of a person, but also their humanity. No, it doesn't justify what people do. Yes, there's consequences for our actions. But it, just like with Hiren and that pendulum, it just shows how everything is yin and yang. Everything is both and. Where Vincent this whole time was unhinged and the bad guy, and whoa, my goodness, stumbling through the cities drunk, and this guy needs help and something's not right, and oh my gosh, no, the feeling we all got when he was harming the man on the street, and I just forgot his name, and that's crazy to me too. My mind is about Vincent. I don't even remember the victim's name, right? Depending on where we put our mind at, depending on what we do, where we focus on, that's what will stick. Right? So if I focus all my energy on Vincent is the evil one, evil, then all I focus on is saying the name of the victim, then that will naturally be on the forefront of my mind. Vice versa, if I'm so busy with Vincent's tale, I'm not even remembering the full name of the victim. Both are human beings, both of absolute value, and both is tragic. Two things can coexist. And I think it's phenomenal that Ren, without excusing the behavior, is addressing the fact that there is something beneath these symptoms. There is a root issue. And he's allowing us, he's taking us on this journey where it really does with us what a lot of good movies do. Where, and I've said this before, where you could have someone you cannot stand, and at the end of that movie, you're all about that person and you're completely for team XYZ, or vice versa. We can switch. We are very tribal. We are very simple-minded. As highly intelligent as we are, and as much as we think we are so evolved and we're so ahead and we're so the crown and the cherry on the cake of creation, that initial conversation beautifully ties that together when it raises questions such as, are there aliens or not? Where did we really come from? What do we do with all these parallel stories? Noah's Ark, Gilgamesh, these different records, history pieces. What do we do with these stories? The Exodus, yes or no? Did the Jews really leave Egypt? Why don't we have any records of that? If Egypt, records of a lot of people, thousands of people leaving Egypt and be freed from slavery there. these questions about religion, about religious texts, and even they're saying nuance. Even they're saying, I don't really believe this really happened, but I do believe there's other texts that is true. Yes, maybe there's a reason why we're finding all these different stories. A beautifully full circle from the beginning when they were talking in what looked like the prison community room or something. These men having a conversation saying, maybe it's both. What do we make of that? That was a macro level conversation about where do we come from? Are we really as evolved as we think? Maybe there was more than we realized before. Maybe the dragons actually were simply dinosaurs, and trying to make sense of history of life on a macro level as humanity. And here then towards the end on a micro level, looking at one man's life and also drawing those same parallels that maybe both can exist, like that pendulum we see in Hiram at the end. But our tendency as people is to have to pick a side. Our tendency is to say he was either an animal and a predator, or he's an innocent guy that was just simply stressed and overwhelmed by the system. Which one is it? Could it be both? Ren is really, in such an artistic way, such an entertaining way, posing so many questions and more. And I think it's phenomenal because it does make you wonder, even me going, wait a minute, that jury feels kind of imbalanced. Is that just me? Am I going crazy? Maybe there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe it's perfectly fine. But I noticed that because of my subjective lens, because of my bias, because of my assumption that it needs to be, a lot of, male-female ratio, ethnicity, diversity ratio. That's my mind, right? As equal as possible, please. Let's mix it all. And so I'm noticing discrepancies or unequalness when maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe that wasn't intended here, but my mind picked up on it. You see? Same with the judge, that subtle nod, that subtle shaking of the head. I'm seeing bias. Other people might have seen that and simply thought he's shaking his head at just how tragic this is. You see just how quick we are to look at situations through our bias and draw conclusions there from that. And it just, in context with this idea that everything's connected, it's just so much this reminder to me that we need one another. We need this balance of hearing each other out and being willing to ask critically, what do you think about this? I'd never thought about that. I don't agree, but I think this. Where is there room for us to work together? For you to bring your strengths, me to bring mine, and us to come to some kind of conclusion? Could it be that it's both true? Guys, boom, bada bang. My brain, it exploded again. What are your thoughts on this? Please subscribe. Stay for more music from all around the world, psychology, mental health. I appreciate you. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!